Yeah. Oh, good God, Gertie. Let's see here. I want to do something here. Oh, skip that damn thing.
The auctioneer. There was a boy in Arkansas who wouldn't listen to his mom. She told him he should go to school. He slipped away in the afternoon, take a little walk. Pretty soon find him at the local auction mart. He'd stand and listen carefully, and pretty soon he began to see how the auctioneer talked so rapidly. He said, oh my, it's do or die, I've got to learn that auction cry, gotta make my mark, be an auctioneer. 25 out of $50, hoodly bitty, 30, got a 25, hoodly, give me 5, wanna make it 30, hoodly bitty, 30, $30, hoodly bitty, $30 bill. I got a $30 billion, hoodly bitty, 35, I got 30, hoodly, give me 5, wanna make it 30, hoodly, that's 5, $35 bill. Well, this time went on, he did his best, and all could see he didn't jest. I'm the barn just working up and off the storm, trying to imitate the auctioneer. Then his pap said, son, we just can't stand to have a mediocre man selling things at auctions using our good name. I send you off to auction school, and then you'll be nobody's fool. You can take your piss among the best. A $35 billion, hoodly bitty, 40, got a $30 hoodly, give me 5, wanna make it 40, hoodly bitty, $40, hoodly bitty, $40 bill. I got a $40 billion, hoodly bitty, 45, I got 40, hoodly, give me 5, wanna make it 40, hoodly, $40 bill. And out from that boy that went to school, that grew a man, he played it cool, he came back home a full-fledged auctioneer. And the people came from miles around just to hear him make it.
Oh, Jimmy, how's it going this morning? Be sure to let everybody know we're on here doing Coffee with Conversation. I shared it on the page, but I don't know if everybody's seen it or not. Morning, Michael. How you doing this morning? I got a $50 billion, hoodly bitty, $50, I got 50, hoodly, give me 5, wanna make it for a $100, $55 bill, alright. $25 billion, hoodly bitty, 30, got a $20, hoodly, give me 5, wanna make it $100, $30, hoodly bitty, $30 bill. I got a $30 billion, hoodly bitty, 35, I got 30, hoodly, give me 5, wanna make it for a $100, $35 bill. Oh, $5 billion, hoodly bitty, 50, got a $40, hoodly, give me 5, wanna make it $100, $30 bill. Got a $1 billion, hoodly bitty, $50, I got 30, hoodly, give me 5, like so, I'm hoping a $50 bill. Gotta have some good music to start the day off. That's all there is to it. You do. Don't you agree, Jimmy? Gotta have a good day. Gotta start the day off right. Kind of go from there. I'm doing good, Michael. I'm doing real good. We're going to have some coffee conversation this morning. We're going to go from there. I'm visiting with my daughter right now. Give me just 1 second. Just show. Okay. All right. So I got that done. All right. Well, you know, it's a beautiful morning, as you guys can tell, right here in northwest Oklahoma. It is. It's beautiful. It is plumb freaking beautiful. I love days like this. It sure makes you wonder kind of what's what and who's who and where's where. You know, I love these kind of days. I really do. I do. I love these kind of days. They make you feel good, and they make you feel just on top of the world when you wake up in the morning and you got mornings like this, and everything just seems to be right. But even if it's not right, it seems to be right. So, you know, it sure makes you wonder at times. It really does. Um, Now, one of the things too that I look at is how do you how do you start the day off? Of course, mine's with coffee. Mine's with coffee. I got to have coffee. You know, that's all there is to it. I got to have the coffee to get me going. Uh, because without the coffee, I just don't seem to do right. I really don't. So, you know, but it is what it is. We got to start the day off. We go from there. So here we go. I got an interesting phone call this morning, actually. Um, but anyway, I had an interesting phone call this morning, and I thought I'd just share it with you guys. I have a gentleman that called me this morning about 5 o'clock. Woke me up. I didn't get much sleep anyway because I'm worried about, you know, Casey showing up here. He's about an hour away from me, so he's going to be showing up here to work on these horses' teeth. And so I was afraid. I was afraid that I was going to oversleep and not get things done. So anyway, he called me at 5 o'clock in the morning. He goes, "Is this Chris Logan?" I said, "Yeah, it is." "Who in the hell is this calling me at 5 o'clock in the morning? You know, on my normal bedside manner." Well, he introduced himself. He says, "We've met a couple of times, and I'd like to visit with you for a minute." Kind of like, I ain't even had my damn coffee, and you want to call me and tell me we've met, and you want to have a conversation? "Well, yes, sir." I said, "All right. Well, you might as well just start talking because I'm gonna go make coffee." So, needless to say, I've been drinking coffee since 5 o'clock, and here it is, 8:27. Plus, I did some mowing too. But anyway, this gentleman called me. He said, "Hey, I want to talk to you about something." I said, "What's that?" He says, I understand that you're going through a rough patch." Said, "Yeah." He goes, "What's your definition of a rough patch?" Said, "My definition? Well, let me tell you what my definition of a rough patch is." I said, he goes, "Before you do, I want to explain something to you." He said, "The reason why I'm asking you this," he said, "you and I are the exact same age. We come from two completely different lifestyles. I have a business. I grew up in the city. You've met me. You've been to my business, and you grew up in the country. And but what I'm trying to do is figure out what people's definition of a hard time is, because in America right now, everybody's thinking that their hard time is the ultimate." He said, "So, you know," he says, "I've been watching your shows ever since you started." He said, "So can you tell me what your definition of a hard time is?" I said, "Holy crap, you're starting early with this, ain't you?" I said, "Well, it's like if you've been watching my shows, then you know, I just lost my job at the sale barn, and I don't have money to pay rent. I don't have money to pay my bills. I'm struggling. I don't have money to buy groceries yet. I said, but other than that, I get to wake up every morning, put my pants on one leg at a time, put my boots on one foot at a time, put my hat on, go out here and try to do the best I can to make things good. He said, I said, you know that things have been tough with my truck breaking down. You know that I've been struggling financially. You know that I'm having all sorts of problems. I'm going to have to sell my cows and all this stuff. He says, I understand. I understand. I said, here's the difference between a lot of people. What I do for a living is hard. It's tough. It's not easy because I don't go take out a bunch of loans that I can't pay back. I don't take out operating loans. I don't take out loans from FSA, Farm Credit, SBA and all that. So yeah, the struggles are hard. The struggles are real, but this is the life that I've chosen to live. And no matter how hard the struggles are, I'm going to do the best I can. Even if I have to go get 2 or 3 jobs working at convenience stores or Dollar General or wherever, I'm going to do it. He said, okay. He goes, well, you know me. You've been to my businesses a couple of times, and we've had good conversations a couple of times years back. And he said, if you remember right, I live in Bozeman, Montana. He says, I own a business up there. He said, and like you, he said, we're the same age, and I'm a businessman. If you're trying to grow a business, so am I. He said, the difference between us is, he says, I got SBA loans. I got every kind of loan you could think of to a bank. He says, I got 4 people working for me, and I'm having hard times. He says, I'm struggling. He said, but everybody's version of struggling and having hard times is completely different. He said, I live in a $200,000 house. He said, yeah, I got 40 acres with it. He said, I'm able to pay my bills, but I'm not able to save anything. He said, one thing is, he says, I've noticed as of late that people consider they're having hard times when they're not. They have a roof on their head. They're struggling to pay bills. And like you, sometimes people have a hard time buying groceries and raising a family. He says, but the determination I see coming from you resonates with me 100%. He goes, when I met you, he says, I'll never forget. He said, because you remember how the TV station used to have what was called Live at 5? I said, yeah, I remember that. He said, and you had a shoeing business. He said, and I'll never forget the first time I ever seen you. He says, you showed up at this Live at 5. It was an outdoor event thing. And we was at this, at the carousel there in Helena, Montana. He said, you showed up to that thing in your white shirt and hat and everything. When you walked in, he says, I swear to God, everybody stopped, turned around and looked at you. Everybody. He said, and I watched you. He said, I was one of those people that did that. He said, I watched you. He said, the way you carried yourself, the way you interacted with people, the way you talked to people. He said, you was talking to people and you flat out told them, I don't have the slightest idea what you do for a living. I can't even begin to wrap my brain around what you do for a living. He said, but that didn't stop you. He says, he said, I noticed you had that drive about you. That drive that told me you're never going to give up. You're never going to stop. You had that drive about you that makes people want to talk to you. He says, you are the type of individual that I personally want to be around. He said, because you're full of positivity. Even when things are bad, you try to find the good in something. You do. You struggle every day, but at the same time, you do what you can to make things right. Excuse me. He said, one of the things about you that I've come to realize is you don't give up at all. I said, no. I like a challenge. Even when the challenge is too much, I like a challenge because I'm not a quitter. He said, and that's The difference between you and a lot of people do give up. He said, I see your living situation in your videos. He said, I see he says, I hear what you're saying and how you're saying it and the way you're saying it. And that speaks a lot to me. He said, because you've never changed. You're just blunt, straightforward to the point. You say what you think and the hell with it. He said, and I like that aspect. He says, but do you realize how many people today are struggling worse than both of us? And they've given up, or they're struggling not as bad as us, but they've given up. And they said, I want the government to help me. He said, you're not that type of person. I said, no, I'm not. So as we kept having this conversation, good morning, Jay. He said, one thing I like about you, he said, don't get the big head on this. He says, not only can you walk in someplace and everybody turns around and sees you, he says, but you have the ability to tell everybody exactly what's going on in your life without making people feel sorry for you. Because to you, it's an everyday struggle. It's an everyday, this is just how it is. No ifs, ands, buts about it. And you have the ability to let people know how hard things really are, but at the same time, reiterate to them that you're not giving up no matter what. So that's the cool part about this phone call I got this morning. And when he talked to me, I had this sense of pride come up. And it wasn't an overwhelming big head thing, but it was a sense of I must be doing something right in my life. Because I don't give up. I don't give in. I don't walk away. These struggles I'm facing are everyday struggles everybody faces. But like he said, the way you do it, he says, you do it with grace. You do it with ease. You do these struggles every single day in a way that I want to do the way you're doing them. They said, yeah, there's times when I'm at work and I got 3 or 4 employees and I get so damn mad, I've quit. I leave work because I can't figure out how to pay bills. I can't figure out how to do things. I can't figure out how to make ends meet, so I leave. They said, I'll go find a pond somewhere or a river or a creek, and I'll go sit there, and I'll just get away from the situation. He said, but you don't. I said, no. I said, I don't. I said, I can't. I can't get away. He said, and that's the difference between you and I. He said, and that's why I thought I wanted to call you this morning. He said, because the struggles you're facing every single day, not only is the struggles that you face like everybody else, but what you're doing for a living, he said, I'm going to tell you the truth, it's 10 times harder than what I'm doing. He said, you're trying to do something in agriculture, and agriculture is a win or lose entity. There's no in between. You're not going to become rich doing it. He said, and a lot of times you don't even have a lifestyle to where you can live comfortably because your life depends on the markets, whereas my lifestyle depends on supply and demand. Well, there's a difference. He said, I was watching your show for the last 6 months, and he said, it really got to me just how important we need to start looking at ourselves instead of everything else. We need to start looking at what's happening in our country, but at the same time, we need to look at how we can better ourselves. He says, from the moment I met you those years ago up there in Bozeman, Montana, he says, you have always struck me as a man that has drive, has ambition, has that go get that a lot of people don't have. He said, but I've seen you struggle. He says, I've heard you struggle. He says, I know a lot of people that you know. And he said, one of the things that, really sticks with me was out of all these years that I've known you, you've never changed. You're in for the fight, and you love a good fight. You love a good discussion. You love a good argument. But at the same time, you're still going to get up every morning, put your pants on one leg at a time, put your boots on one foot at a time, and go from there. Hi, honey. And he said, that's one thing I like about you. He says, I'm not going to lie. He says, I'm a business owner. And there's been a couple of times where I didn't want to go to work. He said, but you're not that way. He says, you do get up. You do go out and feed your critters. You do go out and work on your fence. You do go out and do whatever you got to do, whether you want to or not, because it has to be done. I said, yeah, you're absolutely correct. Because if I don't do it, who in the hell is? It's not like I can hire anybody. So it's up to me to get it done. He goes, and that's what I like about you. He said, one thing that we have to admit is living here in Montana is Montana makes you work for what you want. Because we have so few things that other states have. Yeah, you're right. He said, your personality, your drive, your ambition is infectious. He said, if people get to know you, they will realize just how the type of person that you are. He said, watching your videos is one thing, but when somebody meets you in person, it's completely different. Because you're always positive, you're always looking. For as long as I can remember, you've always said the glass is half full. You've never said it was half empty. So he said, I just wanted to call and talk to you this morning, and I appreciate it. Well, thank you. Now I'm going to have my damn coffee. Don't ever call me at 5 o'clock in the morning again. So I hung up, and I got outside, and I started mowing because Casey's coming over to work on these horses' teeth. And I wanted to have an area that was mowed out pretty good so we can tie the horses to the trailer and work on them and stuff like that. And I got to thinking about this. I did. I got to thinking about this. And I don't know. I want you guys to tell me what you think. Do you think he was right? Do you think that is me? I am a person of ambition. I am a person of drive. I'm a person that no matter what is going to do what needs to be done. Cat, I swear, you are a pain in the butt. Get up there and lay down. You know, what do you guys think? I'm me. I'm never going to be something I'm not. I'm never going to be somebody that I'm not. I am the type of individual that no matter how hard it is, I'm going to try to do it. I've always been that way. And I like that. I know. I just don't sound right, but that's the way I am. You know, as I'm drinking my coffee this morning, Casey called me, had a blowout on his trailer, so I have a little bit. So I figured I'd come on here and do coffee with conversation with you good folks and tell you about the phone call that I called because it really hit me. It really stuck to me. You know, I'm sitting here thinking about the struggles that I'm facing. Yeah, I can't afford to pay your rent right now. Can't afford to pay my bills, but the month's not over. I got stuff for sale that I'm trying to sell. I will make it happen no matter what because I always have. I have to. But that's a part of life that we all face. I don't care if you work in the city. I don't care if you dig ditches, run a broom, or a janitor, or a plumber, bricklayer, whatever. We all face these struggles. And yes, in today's environment, it's 10 times harder. But we don't ever give up, do we? I don't think we ever give up. I know I don't. And I hope none of you guys do. And my biggest thing is, if you ever think about giving up, give me a jingle. I'll be glad to visit with you. You know, we face all sorts of adversities every single day of our life. And with that being said, we have to figure out what to do. So my rule of thumb is this: don't ever give up. Stay positive. Even when it's damn hard, stay positive. Because we can make things worse than what they are. But why? The hardest thing in life is to put a smile on your face when things are bad. That is hard. It is tough. But you have to do it. You have to do it. And not for everybody else, but for yourself. You really have to. Because you have to tell yourself that these struggles won't last forever. Now, people in our government, they want these struggles to last forever, but we're not going to. We're not going to. I got faith in myself and I got faith in everybody else. These struggles will pass and we will get better financially, emotionally, every which way you could think of. Um, I try to look at everything in a positive light. I mean, the sun's shining on me. It's a beautiful morning here in Northwest Oklahoma. We're going to get up to like almost 90 degrees today. Coffee tastes good. I'm going to eat. I haven't had no breakfast, but I'm going to have some lunch later on. Casey's on his way to work on these horses, and I'm going to shoot some pictures and some videos and put them on the horsemanship page, and I'm going to interview him. And I'm going to talk to him about possible advertising for the horsemanship stuff. You know, you got to look for the light somewhere. Well, the light's hitting me square dead in the face. Every morning I go outside, that light is hitting me square dead in the face, and it makes me feel alive. It does. It makes me feel alive knowing that I'm able to get my fat ass out of bed, put my pants on, put my boots on 1 foot at a time, walk outside, hear the birds chirping, smell that fresh air, watch the dogs run around, watch the chickens run around, drink my coffee and say, it's going to be a day. Good, bad, or indifferent, it's a day, and we're going to try to do the best we can. That's how we have to look at life. We really do. We can't be considering our struggles. Oh my God, I can't do this. I can't do this. I can't do this. Because if you did, you're defeating yourself. You got to put that 1 foot in front of the other and keep yourself going. That's my philosophy in life. That's just one of those things that has to be done. It needs to be done. And you have to have that drive to make it happen. You know, the struggles we face. Last night on my show, I talked about the battle between good and evil. And we face this battle in our life every day, positive and negative. And we have both in our life, sometimes every day. And one outweighs the other sometimes. And when we do that, we really got to sit down and think and look at ourselves. I'm not giving up on anything in my life. Yes, I got to sell the cows. Cows can be replaced. That's not a problem. Cows can be replaced. I got to get bills paid. That's an important part of my life and everybody's life. Mine, yours, everybody's. Because if not, then you lose everything. And I'll be damned if I'm going to lose everything again. I've already lost everything several times. And I'm not going to do it again. I'm not. I got stirrups I'm going to sell. I got ropes I'm going to sell. I got headstalls with bits I'm going to sell. I got cows I'm going to sell. Because I am going to pull myself out of this hole one way or another. And like he was saying, the drive that I have is so important. And the drive that you have is important. And ladies and gentlemen, I trust you guys have drive that just won't quit. I do. I trust you guys can put your feet forward and go forward and not go backwards every single day. You know, because we have learned how to get off the fence and go forward. Because when you go backwards, you lose everything. But when you go forward, you gain everything. And to me, that's an important factor. I don't know about y'all, but to me, that's important. And I hope you guys are that way too. So I just thought I'd come on here and have a little coffee with conversation. He should be here. Oh, what time did he call me? Let's see here. When did he call me? 8:12. Yeah, he should be here in about 25 minutes, give or take. So I'm gonna go out and get ready for him some more and get my day going and go from there. Uh, but it's a beautiful day. It is. It is plumb beautiful. It's a day where I'm thankful to the good Lord up above for letting me get out of bed, put my pants on one leg at a time, put my boots on one foot at a time. And I just want to wish each and every one of y'all a good day. And if it's not a good day, make it a good day. Do whatever you can to put a smile on your face. Do whatever you can to get out and get the sunshine on your face. Spend time with your family. Do whatever. Call some friends up, visit with them. People you ain't talked to in a while. Whatever. But let's just have a great day. Because this is only Thursday. The week's almost over. Let's finish the week on a good note, not a bad note. I'm going to bring Mick in and have him caught up so I can go to sale barn tomorrow and look at the ass end of cows that's trying to kill me. So y'all have a good day. I thank you for being here, and we will see y'all later. God bless you, each and every one of you.